Day one at Gen Con 2026 continues, and my gosh, it has been so long since you and I talked.
Since Star Trek.
Before Star Trek.
Yeah.
Chris Birch, Modiphius Entertainment's mastermind, is with me, and we are going to talk about a lot going on. Well, you guys always have stuff cooking. Got a lot of irons and a lot of fires.
Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about first? You want to talk about XCOM?
Yeah, that's probably the big one. It just went on pre-order today.
Okay.
So it's a solo co-op PvP skirmish miniatures game.
Well, you're just loaded up with a lot of taglines.
Oh yeah, we did, yeah. This is a miniatures game where you build the miniatures out of hard plastic or resin, paint them up, get some terrain. You've got a rule book that covers the whole of XCOM, Enemy Unknown, and Enemy Within, like all the expansions.
Right.
So it's a war game, but very much aimed at solo and co-op play against the AI. But if you really want to, you can be squad versus squad. You can take a squad of aliens.
Okay.
I'll take my squad and we just play a one-off battle. Or we've got Alien Commander mode where you run all the aliens in the whole campaign, rather than using the AI. And it basically plays like the video games. If you've played the classic 2012 XCOM, Enemy Unknown.
Oh, I go way back. I go back to the original XCOM.
Laser Squad, right?
Yeah, I think it was originally that.
I think that was the original game. Yeah. And that's good old Spectrum.
Yes.
It's a turn-based game. Well, it's a miniatures game where you will build your crew, they will die a lot, and you gradually fight increasingly tougher aliens, which we're releasing in kind of handy packs with everything you need every month. We've got a pre-order at the moment with like the first, I think, like 3 months worth of aliens in a couple of boxes. So it's everything you need for months of fighting. And then in between each mission, you've gathered alien resources, you've got some tech, and you're building your base, the secret base underground.
Right.
And there's various objectives, and when you hit certain milestones, the aliens are going to attack you, just like in the video game. And then you've got to build up, and get to the point where you can take the fight to them when you think you're ready, when you've got the best tech, you've got all the, like the Titan armor, your guys are ready, you've got the best, you've got the plasma weapons, you've got all the right kit, now you're ready to take the fight to the big boss. So it very much follows the video game, but we're not trying to make a one-for-one copy.
Right, of course.
Because you might as well just go and play the video game.
Right.
So this lets you actually play with the miniatures on the table. It looks awesome. You can use any modern terrain you've got, so any modern day buildings, there's plenty of stuff
vehicles,
out there.
all that, sure.
Well, your toy cars are going to work perfectly. We've got some scenery coming that just, like infection pods and alien consoles and things like that. But this is like, if you like your skirmish games, where you've got like 6 guys on your side, and then the aliens are, probably, let's say, I've had a bad day where there's like 20 on the table, but probably 5 to 12 aliens at any one time. So this isn't a game where you have to paint like 50 to 100 miniatures.
Right.
And the miniatures are gradually being released. So as they get released, you can pick up a new set. And also, honestly, you can buy the rulebook and just play with any miniatures you've got.
Sure.
You don't have to buy our miniatures. You might want to use any insert big name aliens that you've got, in your collection, just to try it out.
Sure.
So you'd better just buy the rulebook. So that's XCOM. We've got some miniatures here if you want to get some photos.
Yeah, I'll get some B-roll.
There's a lot of stuff online. It just went on pre-order. So we've got hard plastic versions and resin versions, and the hard plastic are going to retail in the spring next June. So that's all really exciting.
I have to say, as far as like Modiphius Entertainment, I think a lot of people know the company from obviously role-playing games.
Yes.
But you have really branched out more into miniatures and miniature systems and rule books.
We built our own factory. And the thing with wargaming is it's very, very hard to make miniatures, make money.
Right.
if you don't actually make the miniatures yourself.
Of course.
Because the margins are really tight. And so really, you know, you look at Mantic have got their own factory, Warlord have got their own factory, you know, all the big guys, well, obviously GW have got their own factory.
Sure.
So we've built our own factory in beautiful little village in Cornwall in the UK. It's like a fairy tale village, great place. And we've got a fantastic team down there. And resin is very time intensive, very hands-on. There aren't massive machines there like pumping out miniatures. It's like, it's handmade, you know, you've got to peel the miniatures out, take them out by hand, clean them up. So, but the guys are really good. They've got really, really high quality. I don't think anyone in the UK orders more resin than we do, except for GW.
Wow.
So we make a lot of miniatures. Anyway, so as a result, we've been able to do all these little ranges like Paranoia, like Mass Effect, obviously Fallout. But Fallout, a lot of it's moving into hard plastic now. Okay. So all the big cool sets are in hard plastic. And we, you know, because also resin is great for, you know, boutique ranges. But if you really want to get into retail and, you know, get taken seriously for wargaming, you need to do hard plastic.
Yeah, right.
So
back in the day, it was just lead.
Yeah, I know. I still remember the day I was like holding a resin miniature going, that doesn't feel like a miniature.
Right.
You know. So, but of course resin is more detailed. It's a collector's miniature. Hard plastic is
gamers.
Technically cheaper, and it should be cheaper because you make a lot more, and you can make them quicker. So you can, if there's a huge demand, like we're seeing with XCOM. And if you drop it, it doesn't usually break. So, and actually, our resins are pretty solid. So it's, but yeah, we've built that. We obviously do a lot of board games now as well.
So what else do you want to talk about? There's plenty.
Yeah, I mean, the other big thing, we've got Battle for Boston here, which is the new Fallout Factions big box set.
Fallout. That rings a bell.
Oh yeah, that little game. Yeah. Didn't they have a TV show recently?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. It was, apparently it was quite good. So we do a lot for Fallout. We've also got the miniatures range, we've got the role-playing game, 2D20 game, we've got, we've got a card game, Power Play.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's somewhere here. We've got, and it's a really fun little card game. We've got Fallout Wasteland Warfare that came out a few, 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, it's been out.
Fallout Factions was the first big release last year with the Nuka World, Battle for Nuka World. And that was like raider gangs fighting each other. And now Battle for Boston is Super Mutants, Brotherhood of Steel. It's with a load of terrain as well. You've got some really cool Boston terrain buildings. And it's a Battle for, so we decided to go two directions. Okay, you want tournament, player games, Fallout Factions is for you. It's points-based, it's designed for competitive play, it's designed to be quick, hardly any tokens, throw down a quick game, and you want to play against your friends.
Right.
Whereas Fallout Wasteland Warfare, we've redesigned it. It had way too many tokens, and it was and too many cards, and it was a great idea when it started. But we ended up with a card for everything, and it was like, it got insane. So, completely redesigned, focusing on solo and co-op play.
Okay.
Because that's what people were really spending all their time on. And no cards now.
No cards?
Like maybe half the number of tokens. Actually even, probably less than that. And much quicker to get on the table, much quicker to set up. And also it's designed actually for a 2-foot by 2-foot or 2-foot by 3-foot game. And you can sneak around now. You couldn't really do that in the old game. So it's a lot more like you and your dog or a buddy, like sneaking around the enemies, like getting into the ruins, finding the stuff, gearing up, building up your settlement. And it's a lot more streamlined now. And that's going on pre-order in August.
Okay.
In a couple of weeks, I think. So that's really exciting, and so of course the great thing here is the miniatures sit in the middle of that. So you've got these, Fallout Wasteland Warfare base sets, you've got the Factions base sets, you've got the role-playing, and you can buy any of the miniatures to go with any of the games.
Sure.
So it's on the freeway. And then I guess the other big thing is Discworld, which is this little Kickstarter we did.
Oh yeah, it's
about 3 years ago.
a few $1,000
2
I
years
think I
ago.
brought in. Yeah.
2024.
Yeah.
It was more than that. It was about $4 million.
I know. I'm just,
it's insane. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was just incredible.
It was huge.
It shows what happens when the Terry's fan base is so passionate, and of course, there's not been any new material, and so they were really looking for something. And I think the team did this fantastic job on creating a very light touch RPG. You don't have to be a gamer to play it.
Sure.
And if you're a gamer, it makes it so easy to get your friends playing. And it's fun, and it's, designed to let you all be funny, rather than trying to have mechanics that make you funny.
Right, because I say that all the time, where a lot of times games that are supposed to be satirical or humorous, it's a fine line, because if you step over the line, then it's not funny. It's just
I know.
cringe.
Well, let's face it. Every game of D&D is Monty Python.
Right, of course.
We all end up being funny because it's not trying to force us to be funny, because we're all just having fun. And so when you try and have mechanics that force people to funny, generally that doesn't work. It's like me going, okay, be funny.
Right.
You can't just be funny, right? So anyway, so they did a really good job, and we've got like the retail edition here now that's like a little digest version, stripped down content. The Kickstarter backers are getting all their big, beautiful packages at the moment. So next month we're going on pre-order with a couple of games for Discworld. So we've got a Reiner Knizia design, based on Blooming City, I think it is. It's a complete redesign. And in the game, you are trying to rescue the students in the library from the books, and the books are trying to eat the students.
Okay.
And you've got to get the students back into the exam hall to finish their exams.
Okay.
So you're running around this board that, like all the rooms that evolve as you go, and it's really quick and fun.
Fairly chaotic.
Very chaotic, yeah. And then and that's called Reader's Digested. And then we've got a card game called Kill Sandvines. So you are trainee assassins in the Assassin's Guild who've been given the unenviable training task of killing the unkillable Sandvines. And you can imagine how it goes. It's completely hilarious, full of banter, and it's quick and fun, and it's so both of those go on pre-order end of August.
Okay.
And so we're building out a lot more with the Discworld property.
What kind of role-playing games do you want to share some additional love for?
Well, Fallout's had a lot more releases. Fallout 2D20.
I've reviewed the core book.
Yeah.
So if you're curious, check it out.
Star Trek's had a load of new stuff this
I would
year.
love to see the second edition of Star Trek
it's here.
Adventures.
It's here. Yeah, it's over on the cabinet over there.
Oh, well, we'll be talking about a review copy a little later then.
And this year's the 60th anniversary of Star Trek.
I know.
So we've got lots of interesting things happening. We've been sneaking teasers of some stuff we've got coming later this year for the anniversary.
I
sorts
love
of
the fact
interesting
that
plans.
RPG has had so much support.
Yeah, and Paramount, they're really encouraging for all the licensees doing stuff,
Which is
with
not
Star Trek.
always the case.
That is true, very true. I've spoken to plenty of companies, and I've said, well, would you promote the game on the Facebook page? They're like, why would we do that? And it's like, well, then we'd have to do it for all our licensees. And I was like,
It's like,
maybe
okay.
you should do that.
Maybe you'd like to help move the
So
product?
we often, we always try and work with companies who get it. And, Paramount have been amazing. The Star Trek community has been incredible. Video games companies are amazing, because often half of them are tabletop games.
Of course.
So I remember when I did Homeworld, I went to the Gearbox headquarters and played a game of D&D with some of their top people.
That's cool.
Played the board game, and everyone had lots of great ideas. There was a lot of, they had a whole tabletop gaming shop as part of their cafe.
Ah.
So they were really into it. It was great. So it really helps. And so what else have we got coming? Lots of other good stuff. Dino Dungeon, do you know about that?
No, I don't.
So Dino Dungeon's being demoed. Diner Dungeon is based on the Dungeon Generator card decks, which are these. You've seen those card decks where they build a dungeon, like a little random, but beautiful art, very vivid, kind of bright colours. It gives you those like Mork Borg vibes.
Okay.
So the Dungeon Generator decks help you build a beautiful like random dungeon. So he built a game around it. So now you've got a town with some buildings that do stuff. You've got a set of polyhedral dice, and the dice are your heroes.
Okay.
So the game is for 1 or 2 players, and monsters appear, and you start building the dungeon, and monsters appear at the ends of the dungeon corridors, and if they get to the town, then they take out the buildings. It's a little bit of base defense, and each of the buildings lets you do different things. They give you extra powers, and you have an action card hand. When you play a card, you get to move a dice, or you get to fight a dice. And when you fight, after you've fought, so whatever the number is on your dice is your current combat value, and the creatures have a certain number of like, okay, you're going to need 2 8s and a 4. So I need to get 3 characters there, an 8, an 8, and a 4. So I'm going to need probably at least a D10 and a D12 and a D20 again.
Right. Okay.
And then if you defeat, when you do a combat round, then you re-roll all the dice because they're,
and
so
that
they're going
becomes
to be weaker
the new,
or stronger.
Right.
And then, so you get resources and rewards for killing the monsters. At some point, the boss appears, and then you get some points. You get to buy some more buildings.
Okay.
And then you play again.
Yeah.
And so there's a bit of a campaign where you're building more buildings, and the buildings let you do more stuff. And it's in this cute little box. It's a great package.
Sounds cool.
Rolling Guns is the artist and designer, fantastic person who's just really done this really elegant design. Look, we keep selling out everywhere we go, and we're about to do a reprint. So I think we've got some of the last copies here at Gen Con. So that's been amazing. We've got a big pile of Mass Effect, the board game by Eric Lang and Calvin Wong here. That's been out for a while, but if you like Mass Effect, it's a cooperative game where you are playing through a new mission. A mission that you missed when you played the video game.
Okay.
Based on one of the actual missions in the game. And then, honestly, we've got a lot of stuff. We've got this great new card game called Sovereign, like a deck building game.
It looks like it's a science fiction.
It is beautiful art.
Theme on it.
Really, really good. And that's just come out. And there's lots of stuff. We've got the latest stuff from Dreams and Machines, Acting Cthulhu. Fallout Wasteland Wanderer, the solo RPG book, just continues to sell, and Five Parsecs, which is one of our surprise hits, honestly. So I don't know if you know Five Parsecs, but
I know what it is.
It basically started life. It was a Word document that I found on Drive. It was such a great game, and we ended up working with Ivan Sorensen, the designer. And we based XCOM on Five Parsecs. So if you're a fan of Five Parsecs or 5 Leagues from the Borderlands, that's XCOM, but with some changes. And so you've got 5 Parsecs from home. It's a procedurally generating solo co-op skirmish game. So you create your little crew of 6, and people would use any miniatures. They use their GW miniatures there, Star Wars miniatures there, random sci-fi miniatures to make up this crew. You play a little battle, and then you go back to town, and I'm going to send this guy to go to the bar, and I roll on the bar table to see what rumours he finds. I'm going to send this guy to training, so I'm going to upgrade on his stats. This person's going to go looking for work. Okay, we found a patron who's going to give us some money to do this job. And then, oh no, we found an enemy because they got into a fight in an alleyway. So stuff happens. You got to pay the bill on your ship because you're in debt. You got to pay everyone, and then you go and do another fight, and hopefully you find some cool gear, find some more weapons, and you rinse, repeat. But the story evolves as you go. There is no script.
Okay.
There's no scripted events. It's our human brains. We love connecting conspiracy theories. So you tend to connect the dots, and this story evolves as you play, and people just go crazy creating all these missions.
And if I remember correctly, it's solo and co-op, right?
Yeah. So you can play anytime you want. You play a quick turn. It's a 3x3 table. Some people play the 28mm scale, 32. Some people play in 10mm. I've even seen someone playing 6mm on a little tiny board, and they travel around with it. And so we did one recently. So 5 Parsecs is the general one. Then there's Tactics, which is more about solo co-op battles with units. You've got Bug Hunt, which is another book that's more kind of alien style, but they're all standalone. They've all got their own rules.
Right.
You don't need the core book. And then we did one called Planetfall recently. That's actually been the big hit, and that is, imagine you crash land on a world designed by Chris Foss. So it's packed. Anybody, it shows my age, but if you remember those beautiful Chris Foss art books of like ancient starships and cities that are overgrown. So you're on this planet and you're building a colony. So you're doing base building. You're going out exploring a grid around your base. You're meeting new aliens that are completely randomly generated.
Yes.
And so there will be a set of aliens that you gradually discover. You're going to discover these ancient ruins with weird mysteries, and like ancient robots will start activating, and these strange aliens, specific aliens, start appearing and attacking you. And you've got to upgrade your tech, your colony.
Right.
And there's only a certain group of you. You can't just like let everyone die. And there is an ending. There is like I think it's like 6 endings to the game, so you're working towards this cool ending. And that's been a really big hit. And so we've got lots more coming in that range. We've got the fantasy version, 5 Leagues and Borderlands. So we've got this whole range of games. If you'll see a common thread here. We like our solo games because I grew up as a solo gamer, and I just know that if you're married, your partners, you don't always have a lot of time if you've got kids. Just any gamers, we don't always have 6 hours or a whole day. Sometimes you just want to quit. I just want to get an hour gaming in, and I can't wait for anything. So it just works, and people love just telling stories.
Of course. Chris, any final thoughts you want to share with the audience?
Great to see you again.
Of course.
Let's not leave it so long next time.
I've said hi to you at other shows, but we just haven't gotten in front of the camera again.
Yeah.
You're always so busy is what's going on, really.
Well, honestly, everyone else does the hard work. I just sit here and try and talk.
Very nice.
But yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks for sitting down and chatting with me, Chris.
Thanks a lot.